Dear Vice President, welcome to Estonia, and this visit is truly historic. Thank you for coming, thank you for bringing important business delegation with you, and thank you for this exchange of views which we had just now. I feel already I understand better your line of thinking of our global problems and our bilateral cooperation possibilities. Also, thank you for taking interest in further forwarding our relations and responding positively to our plea to participate more in the occasions where we can deepen our knowledge of your region and also including economic and security problems in the region. I hope this visit deepens our political connections and gives a strong boost to economic relations. Also, it should make cooperation in ICT, higher education and e-governance more dynamic. We have seen our citizens to take the lead already, and we have examples where our companies work to develop services on your e-governance platform, and we have numerous e-residents from India who have created a high number of companies, more than 400 already in Estonia, which shows that we politicians, as always in democratic countries, we follow our people. Our people have the will to cooperate, and we can only support and follow them to make sure that we facilitate truly this cooperation. We have 2,700 Indian e-residents, and this is a number of which we are extremely proud. I'm also happy that the conclusion of 2 memorandums of understanding in the field of digital cooperation and cybersecurity gives further opportunities for cooperation. India and Estonia have seen the potential benefits of our digital systems. We have built our Digital Estonia for almost 3 decades, being a nation of 1.3 million people. We have reached the level of e-services where in Estonia the 2 things you cannot do online is getting married and selling your house. Everything else is online. But it is much more remarkable in my eyes that you have managed with your unique ID card to give personal identification numbers to more than 1 billion people, which makes it the world's largest biometric ID system. And I'm quite sure that our companies also have a lot of ideas how, together with your companies and your people, how to make use of our experience in really upgrading these services to much bigger systems. I hope to increase our cooperation in international organizations, also in particular in the United Nations, where we will start as an elected member of the Security Council already in the beginning of next year, and we are supporting also your candidature for the elected member starting a year later. So you see, our cooperation is already many-faceted, as we discussed. Geography matters less and less in this modern world of 21st century. And we see a lot of challenges which we need to deal with together, including the spread of terrorism, including the how to manage the cyber risks. And we had extensive debate about these issues, which we will continue later today as well. So welcome to Estonia once more. Thank you. And after I have answered the questions, then the floor would be yours.
Thank you. And we have room for one question. So.
How Estonia and India should strengthen their relationship economically speaking?
As I said, nothing happens only out of the political will. Political will needs to be there to support and facilitate the will of the people. And we see already companies in Estonian digital sector who are interested in providing the services they know how to provide for 1 million people, to provide them for 1 billion people. But for that to happen, we absolutely need to make sure that we have the closest possible relations between 2 countries. We are hoping also to see an Indian embassy in Tallinn one day to even further promote the cooperation. We also in Estonia have exempted those people from 3rd countries who want to work in startup sector from the general rules for immigration. So people from India who are willing and want to work in startup sector and are this way qualified, they can easily come here and further facilitate these relations. Also, as you well know, Estonia offers a really good level education in ICT, and the further exchange of the students would definitely also help the cooperation between ICT sectors of the 2 countries. But I'm not willing to forget the traditional economy, Estonian wood industry, etc., Estonian food industry. I'm quite sure that we are able to also cooperate in the classic economic sectors, not only in ICT, where of course nowadays it's easier to forge close relations because their geography really does not matter. Thank you.
Thank you. And Mr. Vice President.
Your Excellency, Madam Kersti Kaljulaid, President of the Republic of Estonia, members of the media, and my sisters and brothers, thank you, Excellency, for your warm words of welcome and the generous hospitality extended to me and my delegation. I would like to convey my greetings to people of Estonia for the restoration of Independence Day, which was celebrated yesterday. I was very happy to be visiting Estonia, a successful democracy, a member of the European Union, and a nation which has been recognized as a digital state. Estonia has remarkable achievements to its credit. Estonia is a world leader with respect to many advanced technologies. India and Estonia shared a bilateral relationship based on common values such as democracy, rule of law, pluralism, and freedom. Although there are asymmetries in the size of our nations and of our economies, we believe that both India and Estonia share several complementaries which can become the foundation for a mutually beneficial interaction. India recognized Estonia in 1991 and established diplomatic relations in 1992. However, the connection between our two countries goes back to history. As Estonia seafarer visited India in 18th century, publications about in Sanskrit were made by the University of Tartu in the year 1800s. Since the establishment of diplomatic relations, our two countries have exchanged official, business, and ministerial delegations. We were privileged to receive the then President of Estonia, Mr. Lennart Gergomeri, to India in February 1999. My discussions with the Honorable President Kaljulaid this morning were wide-ranging. We reviewed bilateral relations and potential areas of cooperation. We exchanged our views about regional, multilateral, global issues and common interests. I congratulate Estonia on their election to the non-permanent membership of the United Nations Security Council for next year. In this context, we are looking forward to working closely with Estonia in the United Nations Security Council. President Kaljulaid and I agreed to strengthen the bilateral cooperation in trade and commerce, especially IT, e-governance, cyber security, innovation, and education. Our bilateral economic engagement, which has grown since establishment of diplomatic relations, stand at $172 million per annum, holds considerable potential for further growth expansion. There are immense opportunities for partnership between Estonia and Indian companies in programs such as Digital India, Startup India, and Make in India. In this context, I have invited the Estonian government to participate actively in the forthcoming India-Europe 29 Business Forum to be held 20th and 21st November in New Delhi, which is a focused event for strengthening cooperation between India and the 29 countries of Europe. I also encourage Estonian companies to consider manufacturing in India, both for Indian market and for other markets, given India's strategic location in Asia. During our discussions today, we recognize the importance of building a global order based on respect for international law and national sovereignty. We reiterate our resolve to combat terrorism in all its forms and manifestations. We also discussed common concerns such as climate change and global warming. I invited Estonia to join the International Solar Alliance, in which India is playing a leading role in order to enable rapid deployment of solar energy globally and to facilitate transfer of technology. I am looking forward to my engagements with Prime Minister, His Excellency, Mr. Yuri Ratas, President of Rijiki Kyogo, Her Excellency Hens Polos, and to interacting with the corporate sectors of both the countries at a business forum later in the evening. I am confident that my interactions with the Estonian leadership will provide a new depth and momentum to our ongoing bilateral cooperation. Excellency, you have been a generous and gracious host. I thank you and your government for the kind hospitality and for the wide-ranging interactions arranged for me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Excellency. And I know we have one question for Mr. Vice President also.
Mr. Vice President, you are on a historic visit to Baltic nations, and today in Estonia you have held bilateral talks. How do you see India-Estonia relationship going forward, keeping such relations?
We are keen to have good relations with all. Secondly, we are keen to strengthen our relationship with the European Economic Union. Thirdly, these three Baltic countries, though they are small, culturally we have some affinity somewhere. Some people link it to Sanskrit, some people link it to our voyage of some people here, there, and now the newfound enthusiasm of the Indian students coming here and studying in these three universities of these three countries. And we are democracies, and we are peace-loving people, and we believe in parliamentary democracy, and there is vast scope for exchange of knowledge, particularly digitization. They are the leader. So such a small country, they are really leading in that field. And then the other technologies also, they have their own strength. And we would like to come together, closer, interact, learn from each other's experience, and move forward. We would like to strengthen our relationship with all the three Baltic countries, and particularly with Estonia. I hope that the forward momentum will pick up in the coming days. And with our joining together with regard to our understanding of fighting of internet terror, the international fora, that also will send a positive signal across the globe.
Thank you. And with this, our press conference is over. Thank you, media, for coming. Yeah.
So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.